Crabs! I got crabs! I got crabs! Arr!
Should we start with the mud trophy? Let's start with the mud trophy. Do you want to do it? So, yeah, if you don't know, the mud trophy is the trophy that gets awarded to one sailor every year for the honor and glory. And you have to, if you get this award, you have to display it in your house in a prominent location, and you have to explain the trophy to every guest that comes to your house, and why and how you got said trophy. And the gloriousness is that there's actually some bay mud in there.
Very good.
Do not open it.
Do not open it.
It's never been opened, I think, in the last 30 years or whatever. So I got it when I'm getting stuck on the mud next to Woodley Island, having to get towed off by Leroy's son after we were going to be spending the night there otherwise. Tom and me and another. But I think then it was shortly after that in, what was it, like February, that somebody got stuck in the mud that was a little bit more dramatic. And I'll let him tell the story. Larry, you get to come up here.
Larry made the news.
Surely someone else has been stuck since that.
Not as epically as you.
Not as dramatically. Yeah. So let's see. It's I'm sailing Wednesday night with my son and his wife, who wanted to come sailing so bad, but they don't know anything about sailing, but that's okay. And it was really blowing out of the south. So everything was very different because the wind's out of the south. We get around 19 and start going downwind towards number 4. And the boat's starting to roll a little bit. You know, when you have too much sail up and you're going downwind, it starts to roll a little bit. I'm going, oh man, I wish I had a reef in that mainsail. Well, we can probably roll up the jib. That'll be okay. Should we roll up the jib now? No. We'll get around number 4. Bad mistake, number 1. We'll get around number 4 first, and then, you know, the jib will stream back and we'll just roll it up. So we go around number 4, and the jib loops backwards across the headstay on the wrong side of the boat. So obviously, what you should do is turn downwind immediately, get the jib in the lee of the mainsail so it's not cramping on itself and twisting and tying, and then you can just furl it up or furl it out or whatever. It'll just come apart. It's easy. But when the wind pressure is on that sail and it's backwards, it's not going anywhere. Well, I didn't want to turn downwind because we were doing pretty good in the race. So we'll figure this out. We'll pull that in. It'll be okay. And then nothing was happening. Nothing was getting free. And I said, well, I'll try to roll it up now in the furler. Bad mistake number 2, because the middle part of the sail then becomes a spoon catching the wind like an old-fashioned square rigger the wrong way. And then I said, okay, well, we're getting towards so we've come around the marker, leaving number 4 to port, and now we're going upwind instead of downwind, sailing towards the Simpson docks, not Simpson docks, the LP docks where the restaurant is. Oh, well, that's getting kind of close. Okay, well, I better come about. Well, you're not going to come about in a heavy wind with the head sail like a spoon? It's not. Oh, I'll just start the engine. Yeah, then we can come about. Well, you can't come about with the engine on full blast because the front sail's like a spoon. You're going downwind whether you want it or not. And then I heard the keel hit. And so now we're bouncing on the pilings, these old wrecked pilings, in the mud, and the tide's falling. Oh, great. So, trying to get that, I called up Bridge, a voice on the phone. Larry, I don't know how you can do it, but you've got to get that head sail unfouled. When that head, I mean, nothing's going to happen. So with that encouragement, I left my intrepid crew in the cockpit and crawled forward. By then, the tide's going out, the boat's starting to lean, and my only thought in my mind was, do not fall off the deck of this boat, because you go right in the mud and things are going to get really serious then. So I didn't, and I told Justin, undo all the figure eight, all the stopper knots, give me all the sheets, bring it all forward, and we finally got the jib wrapped up the way it's supposed to be. And then the Coast Guard arrives. They can't get to us. They were going to pull us off with their little powered rib. They can't get to us. They got stuck. I should have had photos of the Coast Guard guys bouncing up and down in their rib, trying to get it out of the mud. That was the only levity in the evening. So then the voice on the Coast Guard voice on the phone says, you know, I'm going to call the fire department. How far away from the beach are you? And I said, oh, 100 feet. I don't know. And so pretty soon, West Haven Fire rolls on our little crisis. They start throwing rocks in the mud, boards in the mud. Pretty soon they're there. You guys want to get off the boat? Sure. So off the boat we go. Oh, the last thing the Coast Guard says, by that time the boat's high and dry, completely out of the water. And the Coast Guard says, throw out an anchor before you leave the boat. What a silly idea. We're in the mud. Why would you throw out? Oh, because the tide changes. So, throw out an anchor, make it fast to a cleat on the stern, try to throw the anchor as far into the water as I can get it. And
Like 3 feet.
yeah, you wouldn't, well, some of you had the experience, but you wouldn't imagine how poorly you can throw an anchor. I mean, you swing it and you think it's going to go far, it doesn't. Yeah, so anyway, so then back on the phone with Bridge, Larry, we can rescue you in the morning. I said, well, does that sound fun? And Bridge said, well, yeah, that's what we're here for, you know, we're a team. And so Jack brought the rib, Richard Henry met Bridge, and I at the dock down here, the ramp here at the public marina. And off we went to see what was left of my boat. And with all kinds of thoughts like, how will we get it off? Will the rib be powerful enough to pull it off? Blah, blah, blah. But the tide had come up. We timed it so it would be higher tide. And the boat was floating free. The only problem was we couldn't get the anchor out of the mud. Bridge went over with the rib. I think if there had been more water, we could have just motored over, pulled the anchor. You know, if you drive over the anchor, you can usually break it out. So Bridge took the rib over there, broke it out. And to make a short story long, I got written up in red-headed black belt or whatever. Made the news. And the comments like, well, how come he didn't just stay on the boat like the rest of us do? Who does he think he is? Been rescued by the fire department. And so I await the next major crisis, right? That's the hope to pass this on.
That's the plan.
Thank you all.
A bunch of different races this year. We had single-handed keelboat racing. We had Great Bay Racing, Commodore's Cup, the in-bay keel dinghy, and of course the Whistler race. So instead of doing one first, second, third for each race, we decided we only have a certain amount of sailors. Let's just give each sailor their award that they won, and I'll read off what races and what places they got. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So after that exhilarating story, Larry, third in Great Bay Race.
Thank you.
Next
Get out of the mud.
Let's see, and then we have, let's do, second, Garrett Rod. And, Richard Hendry, he's not here. We got, what? He got third place for single-handed keel boat.
He gets an empty bottle.
Yeah, no, it's not quite as good for everyone. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Susan Penn, third place, in Bay Dinghy. You had a great sail, though.
We did have a great sail, we did.
Sometimes starving is all that matters.
And then, third place, Women at the Helm, Mrs. Karen. And, oh, here we go. Christine Joyner was first place for Women at the Helm.
Yes.
Nice. And there's also a perpetual trophy for that. So we'll tack her onto that for our perpetual trophy for Women at the Helm in Bay Keelboat Race. All right, now we get to Mr. Mike Love, third in Bay Keel and first in the Whistler. Congratulations. Wes Hodges, he's not here unfortunately, but he got second in the Commodore's Cup and second in Bay Keel. Karis Cassidy, she got third in the Commodore's Cup and second at Women at the Helm. Tim Dellis isn't here, unfortunately, but he got second in single-handed and second in the Whistler. He sailed, I think, most of everything. And certainly not last, but least, Ed Matson crushed it this year. First in single-handed keelboat race, first in Great Bay Race, first in the Commodore's Cup, first in Bay Keel, first in the in-bay dinghy, and third in the Whistler.
As a team, it's crew work. Well, if you never sailed with me, you don't realize I always had to tell everybody, if I holler at you, I'm not mad at you. I said, holler aloud. So, my crew deserves respect.
So this trophy is a perpetual trophy that we have for the club, the Westman Award, and it's for someone that's done an exceptional amount of work and put in spirit and duty to increase and improve the yacht club. And this year we nominated Bill Wickman for the award. He has put in an exceptional amount of time, he and Janet, for maintaining the club, for keeping us having to have potlucks and cocktail parties, always bringing desserts. It's not just this last year, but for the last 5 years, he has been single-handed in trying to maintain our yacht club and make it better for everybody to enjoy. So this year we nominated him for the Westman Award. So I think that's it. Congratulations. This year we have a lot of races on the schedule, a lot of other events. So come out and get your boat in the water. Sail hard. We're crew. And crew. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming.